Hey!
Hello there.
Oogly, oogly,
Welcome.
Oogly, oogly.
Welcome to the Bystery Boys podcast.
Welcome.
Welcome.
I'm Caleb,
I'm Dev.
And I'm your boy, Luke.
and we're going to talk about the shit we normally talk about. What's poppin'? What's poppin' with you guys?
Yeah, why don't you tell us in the comments below?
have some
So
comments.
today, we're finna split this podcast out into 3 segments.
As per usual.
As per usual. We're gonna do the music segment first.
The classic segment.
Classic. Then we're gonna do our Bystery hour. Then we're gonna do a new segment, even though we've only had 1 episode. New segment. And it's gonna be called
Movies we watched in the past 24 hours.
Yeah. Is it hot or not? Is it hit or miss? Hit or miss movies.
Absolutely. Yes.
So some of the movies that we watched today, we watched It, the new It movie in theaters.
We did.
And it was good. And we also watched School of Rock featuring
A classic.
Jack Black.
Yeah.
And
We
Cobbler
watched The Cobbler.
featuring Adam Sandler. But to get started, we'll move ahead on our little music segment. And we'll do it in kind of the order we did last time, I guess. How's that sound to you guys? We'll go Devin, me, Luke.
Okay. That sounds good.
Sounds good to me.
We should probably ask Devin. Do you have a song?
Do you have a song?
You know what? I'm gonna pass for now and think about it.
You're gonna pass and think?
Yeah. This is a very last minute podcast.
Yeah. I didn't think about my song
Right.
beforehand, but I'll do that.
Okay.
We'll let Caleb.
I'm finna go. I'm gonna need a second to browse here, figure out which one I want to go.
Okay, do that. Are we gonna listen to some Creed today?
Oh, I
Uh-oh.
love Creed.
Now you got him.
oh shit! I don't know. I was gonna put on one of my favorite songs.
Why don't you do that instead?
I'm gonna put on one of my favorite songs first. Quite possibly, the greatest song ever written. Off the Saturday Night Fever original movie soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
Oh, here we go.
The song's called Night Fever. It's brilliant. Let's take a gander. Let me turn up this.
Oh, it's gonna be
turn it
really
down a
loud.
smidgen. All right, here we go. Here it comes. Oh no, wrong song. That's Don't Speak. Oh yeah.
Here we go. Did somebody say 1977?
So this is a classic disco track from the 1977.
Oh yeah. John Travolta's my favorite singer.
Yeah.
Yep.
And dancer.
You can say that again.
Anyone like Grease? You like Grease?
Yeah.
Grease is pretty good.
Anyway,
Grease is the word. Anyhow,
Good.
I actually haven't seen this movie,
me neither. I have not.
Neither have I.
but it's like
I'm just a big John Travolta fan.
It's like the disco movie. So like basically, if you like disco, frankly though, I mean I haven't seen the movie, but I do absolutely adore the soundtrack. Written by Barry Gibb, Maurice Gibb, Robin Gibb, the Bee Gees.
Why don't you tell us about your favorite Bee Gee?
My favorite Bee
Andy
Gee.
Gibb.
My favorite Bee Gee's Andy Gibb.
How
He's
many
not.
Gibbs are
I
there?
don't think he was on this track. He sadly passed away. He was on another favorite track of mine.
Did he pass away this early in their career?
I think so. He died pretty early.
Hold on. Let's use our sleuthing skills.
Okay, Luke's gonna sleuth, but frankly, I'm not sure off the top of my skull.
We don't know anything about the songs we choose.
We just kind
Yeah.
of think. I'm just giving my general opinion.
Yeah.
I think generally you watch shows like Freaks and Geeks. You watch shows like you watch movies, and they all hate disco.
Yeah.
I
Why?
think that
Say
is.
why.
I say why. I
If
say
you like that one Kiss song, then you'll like this.
if
this
you like
song.
I Was Made for Loving You.
Yeah, you'll like disco.
Frankly, I think disco is a brilliant genre. It's basically white funk.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think that it should not be hated on as much. I think it's kind of like a bandwagon thing. Kind of like people like bandwagon I hate Nickelback and I hate Creed.
It's because
Two of the greatest bands
a lot
of
of
all
rock
time.
bands turn into disco. Like
True.
Kiss was a good band until they put out that album.
Yeah.
Rolling Stones, disco. Faith No More, disco.
Disco.
Nirvana,
Disco.
disco. You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
here?
But the fact is
Exactly.
if you do disco right, it's a brilliant, beautiful music, just like this.
Your
Okay.
fans won't hate you as much if you start out.
Hold on, I
as
think
a
I should get
disco
this in
band.
before the song is over. So I guess Andrew Roy Andy Gibb
Andy
died March 10th, 1988. So he was still alive.
Oh, so he was still kicking. Maybe he was on this track and I'm just poorly informed.
Maybe
Yeah.
we don't actually know who the Bee Gees are.
But the fact is I still love them despite not knowing anything about them.
In reality, the Bee Gees don't exist.
They're on another plane.
Nothing exists.
Podcast, isn't it?
Yeah.
But anyway, all I'm saying is give disco another chance. Crack open your VCR, put in a record,
And
and
your VCR?
put it in your VCR.
Yeah.
Here at the
And-
Bystery
and
Boys, we don't know how technology
Spin that
works.
shit.
Yeah. Spin some.
And so
Fuck.
that's the
Spin
end
a
of the
little
track.
bit of.
That's the end of the track. But I just want to kind of put it out there and let everyone know that I think that it's just a beautiful piece of music. I love little disco. Love getting down.
A little bit of disco, yeah.
It's just
Sounds
a
like a
good
track.
melody. So
It's
all
great.
around,
Sounds
quite
good to me,
quite
you know?
possibly the greatest song of all time.
I agree.
And if not that, at least the greatest disco song.
Yeah. If it's
A
not,
lot of people will say "Staying Alive," but it's just a little too played out for me.
Yeah.
But this song, it's just a timeless classic. You got the strings,
Yeah.
you got the boom, 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 boom of the disco.
If it's not the best song in the world, then it comes shortly after. Which Creed song do you think?
Probably,
We're
Definitely a
moving
Creed
on.
song.
yeah. Anyhow,
We don't want our
That's
listeners
my-
to know about Creed.
that's my song of the day.
I read
That's
it.
my
Bee Gees.
that's my bangers with a Z.
That's right. That's the name of the segment.
Yeah, we forgot, but it's bangers. So anyway,
Yeah.
Next up is my little friend here,
All right.
Garrison of Luke,
Garrison Gibb.
because he's a BG.
I'm a BG.
Okay,
Anyway,
give us some background on your little pick.
here's the backstory. I was really bored the other day, so I went through the catalog of one of my favorite bands, the Beatles.
Oh,
I don't know
wow.
if you've heard of them.
I haven't.
They're pretty indie. And I was really bored, so I went through basically almost their entire catalog and ranked my favorite songs, and this is number one. This is not really the most popular Beatles song, but that's just because I'm such an indie person.
Paul owns the band.
Yeah, this is called Two of Us, and it's by the Beatles.
Oh, I love this song.
Alright.
Let's all listen. Have a gander.
It's bringing that bass.
Yeah, it's a little... It's not rock. I wouldn't call it rock. But, yeah, so this song, Two of Us.
Oh, this song's so dope. I didn't know the name of it because, admittedly, I'm not the hugest Beatles listener, but I recognize the song and I believe it to be a great tune. So nice pick.
It's a little banger. It's just a little banger. So this song, written in 1969 by the richest man in the world, Paul McCartney. The richest man in the world with a guitar. It was released on their 1970 album, Let It Be. Their last album released before they cue the gun sound effect. Split up on my birthday in 1970.
Oh, that's sad.
Before I was
you
born.
were born, what,
28 years before I was
20.
born.
Yeah.
I've given too much information about myself on this podcast.
They're gonna hunt you down.
They're gonna do the math.
Yeah,
They're
we
gonna get
definitely
you.
don't live in Kingston, Ontario.
Okay,
No,
this
we
podcast is over. See ya. Anyway,
Just kidding, we're listening to this song.
let's give it a little listen.
Yeah.
Yep. For the full top 10 Beatles songs, the top 10 Luke Beatles songs.
Go look on
list,
BuzzFeed or something.
Go look on BuzzFeed. It's their featured list of the day.
Yeah. Go and go there for all your Beatles song needs. Frankly,
I will not tell you the entire list, but I will tell you, spoiler alert, Come Together did not make it in the top 10, unfortunately. Because I know that's everyone's go-to Beatles song.
I think that Come Together is it's a solid song, but you know, it is a little,
It's no two of them.
it's a little overplayed.
And it's pretty much every band who wants to cover the Beatles.
Well, yeah. Well, because I think it's like one of their most rock-oriented songs.
Bow, chicka bow. Yeah.
If you like rock music and you want to like the Beatles, listen to Come Together. If you want to hear anything else, listen to their pop offerings.
Any of their early stuff too is also. It wasn't really until 1964 when John Lennon was like, "Hey, you know what? Let's just be Bob Dylan and make folk music," kind of. That they decided that we're not gonna make rock anymore. We're gonna make pop. And then they went to India, and then they made rock again after that.
What a beautiful tune.
And now we'll leave you with the outro of the song.
Beautiful song.
I'd rate this 4 Paul McCartneys out of 9. Just kidding. I think I'd give it like a solid 1 Ringo Starr out of
3 George Harrison.
3 George Harrisons.
What is that?
I mean, I think that's a good equal match.
We'll let the judges decide, and by judges, we mean the listeners. You guys are the judges of everything.
Just tell us if it's as bad as our podcast.
Just judge us. Just completely judge us as people, as podcasters.
And if you don't like
as
us,
human beings.
you know, just say so. I don't
Just
give a
write
shit.
to us
What do I
at-
look like? Yeah.
at 123 Street, Main Avenue, Maine.
Bangor.
Anyway, here we go. Here's
Okay,
Devin's-
quick facts.
or we-
Intermission.
Yeah.
Best town of Maine.
Best town in Maine.
Yeah.
Derry.
No, we can't say Derry because we just saw the movie.
I think the best
I
town in
don't know.
Maine is
I don't know anything else.
And you can't say the
Castle
name of the town.
Rock.
Oh, that's a good one.
I've never been.
Salem's Lot.
What?
All right.
I think
anyway,
we're just
here's
talking. Okay, maybe we should.
number 2.
Maybe we should rephrase this.
Yeah.
Best New England town.
Martha's Vineyard.
I don't know.
Is that a town?
That. I don't think so.
This must be entertaining.
Yeah, watch us fail at U.S.
Number 2.
geography.
Yeah.
All right.
So-
here's Devin's pick.
Devin, give us a little backstory.
So today we're gonna be listening to a song by Metallica. It's I think it's their best song by far.
It's gonna blow your ears off. Watch out.
Definitely their best song by far. I don't know what year this album came out. It's a beautiful album though. Probably 2007 because that was the best year for music.
2003.
2003.
Wow.
Wow, even better.
We know nothing about music or years.
And anyways, Metallica is a wonderful band. Not in my top 10, but they're a wonderful band. And anyways, so today we're going to be listening to Saint Anger by Metallica. Hit it, Cabe.
I hope you're being ironic.
We'll give you the listeners of this podcast extra bonus points if they can determine how many layers of irony this podcast is on, like constantly. And no, that's not being ironic.
Listen to that snare.
Oh yeah.
You can't
That's
see
what-
it, but I'm emulating a snare.
That's what Riley's snare sounds like.
Who? Riley, what? Who?
I don't know who that is.
Metal. Music.
Yeah, thrash. This is the hardest of the hardcores. Of the thrash thrashiest of the thrash.
So this song came out just 2 years after 9/11, and it shows. I don't know what that means, but I'll let you decide.
Oh, best part. Saint
I have no idea what they were thinking when they produced these drums. But they came up with a genius plan, I'll tell you that. Amazing. Best production.
They wanted to sound unique and garage. Like they wanted to sound really stripped down.
But they didn't put it on the Garage
Flush
Inc.
it out.
album. Garage Inc.
Who's saying flush it out here?
Huh?
Who's saying that? Is that James?
No, it's
I would guess like if this was back in the '90s, I would say Jason for sure. But Jason, I don't think Jason's in the band.
Yeah, Robert Trujillo?
It's Trent Reznor.
Could be. Robert Trujillo does some sick vocal.
Oh yeah. Hit that snare.
Yeah, man. Lars Ulrich he's a very underrated drummer. Best drummer in the world, I'd say. Yeah.
Well, yeah, Lars Ulrich can eat my ass.
That's a direct.
He's probably the worst part of that band. He's just a dickhead. And
I have no
Who is
idea.
Jason?
he had cool drums for like 5 years.
Anyway, I just like to point out that I'm very neutral on the subject of Metallica. I don't listen to metal. I listen to Monster Truck. That's about the heaviest I'll go.
I was gonna say, yeah, like evidenced by playing a folksy Beatles song before transitioning into Metallica.
The greatest transition so far on this podcast.
Frankly,
Let's just give this a listen. Oh, listen to this perfection.
see, I mean, like this part to me sounds like kind of like that early 2000s, like post grunge.
Yeah.
And I mean, like
I know what you mean.
that's kind of like, you know what I mean, like Nickelback, Creed, two of the greatest bands, but Metallica just can't seem to nail it. They can't seem to get that Nickelback and Creed finesse.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so unique. Don't pretend to be Chad Kroeger or Scott Stapp.
Yeah.
You know?
Or Eddie Vedder.
Or Eddie
It's
Vedder.
actually just Scott Stapp.
Yeah, Eddie Vedder's just trying to be Scott Stapp.
So, I mean, anybody who wants to try and be, who wants to do a yeah in their song, you know,
Just like that.
just like that, you know, get out of here.
Yeah. But you know, this was after you know James lost his voice.
You think so? I think his voice sounds okay.
His voice sounds pretty good, but not as good as it did, you know.
Oh no.
Because he used to have sort of a more, I don't know how to say it, but more metallic sounding voice.
Yeah.
Kind of like that Ozzy kind of style in Ozzy's younger days. You know?
Yeah. I mean, chalk it up to age. Fact is, though, this record's just not no good. I think
This record's amazing. That's what it is.
Okay, Devin, you know what? Take your irony and just listen to Creed, okay?
This album is #1 on BuzzFeed's top 10 worst albums of 2003.
Is that true?
What else came out in
Just
2003?
everybody go check BuzzFeed before they fall apart as a company.
The song doesn't end. That's a fun fact. So we're gonna be listening to this the entire podcast.
I like
Yeah.
that. I like that guitar riff, but everything else in the song is kind of shite.
You can say that. You can say that music is terrible. If you listen to music, you're a terrible human being.
Yeah, that's a fair point, Luke.
I think the
would
one
agree with
thing
that.
this song needs is like a cool bagpipe intro, like in Korn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the best part of that one Korn song.
I've only heard this song a few times in my life. I've avoided it, so that's why I didn't realize how long it was.
That's why you picked it.
It's
up.
really long. I
You
mean,
can turn it off now if you want.
Well, we can't. We have to stay true to the format.
Oh, okay. We have to make whoever's
Bangers.
listening suffer through it.
Yeah. Too bad for you guys.
Too bad for us.
Yeah, we have to meet our quota for time. So, which is about 45 minutes. One time I watched this concert. I think it was like a live stream of Metallica in Germany or something. And so I was watching it, and for some strange reason, they played this song. I was like, why are you playing that live? You have so many.
I think it's because they want to represent all albums. They want to represent all years. Plus, I mean, like, isn't this like the first one they played with like Rob Trujillo?
Probably.
So, and I mean, he's good, but they didn't use him very well on this album. If you want good Rob Trujillo, go listen to Infectious Grooves or like Suicidal Tendencies.
That's a fair point. Infectious Grooves is amazing.
I love Infectious Grooves.
I think there's a song by Infectious Grooves called "Punk It Up."
I love that song.
And that's a very good song. It's got some good bass in it.
Well, for the viewers at home, let's just hope next episode of Bangers is a little bit better.
Yeah, we didn't think this one through. I think last episode was better.
I mean, even though we did play the greatest song of all time, Night Fever,
That's true.
I'd say we could still do better.
Yeah, we kind of...
Hey, fact is, we can't have all the greatest songs, only some of them.
It kind of got canceled out by this one.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just neutral. It's not, like, amazing.
Where else can you listen to the best song and the worst song of all time?
Nowhere but here.
Oh, thank God that's over. Am I right?
That was 7 minutes long. So we're sorry.
That's
longer.
That's longer than Hummer.
That's longer than Hummer from last time.
And we actually sat through it.
Both Night Fever and two of us combined, probably. I had to guess.
I think it's like Night Fever's kind of short. It's like 3 minutes, like almost exactly. I'm pretty sure. Just a little more, maybe.
Yeah, maybe I'll do a punk song next time. I'll just
do like one of those. They're 40-second punks.
I'll do like a Misfits song. Yeah, I like the Misfits.
You know what I like?
What's that?
Shrek.
Yeah, me
Speaking
too.
of Shrek, I'm not gonna let it go that we're gonna talk about Shrek every podcast. I don't give a shit.
Okay, we're gonna talk about Shrek.
Here's the deal.
Shrek is everywhere, man. You gotta.
I mean, it doesn't have to be long. I just want to say, like, remember that one part in Shrek when he's like, hey Fiona, I can make you food at my swamp, and she's like, oh sweet, I like that, but he conveniently like doesn't mention how he goes about getting his dank ass food.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He farts in the.
Shrek's a masterpiece.
Shrek's, I don't know. I feel like Shrek in real life would just be kind of a dink. I wouldn't want to hang out with him.
Probably. I wouldn't want to hang out with Mike Myers.
Really?
You probably
I
just
don't
want to
know.
rape
I'm just
everybody.
saying that. No hard feelings, Mike Myers. I
Michael
actually like
Myers.
you a lot.
You're,
Austin Powers is the greatest.
Yeah, that's
Movie?
his best. That's his magnum opus.
Yep.
Anyhow, next
Let's not forget
segment.
the Love Guru.
Let's talk
Oh,
about
that's a good movie.
Mystery Hour.
Mystery
What
Hour.
mystery are we gonna talk
Mysteries. What
Today
are
we're
we
going to talk about 27 Club.
Is it real? Is it fake?
real? It's no.
You
Yeah.
decide.
You tell me.
Is it a conspiracy? Is it?
Or did these people just coincidentally all die at the same time?
Was it on purpose?
Maybe
Was
they
it
were
not on
all
purpose?
In a mass explosion.
Or maybe not.
Was-
Let's elaborate. Okay, let's
Alright.
start off. Luke, your opinion.
So here we go. Well, for one thing, we know Pennywise the elf, Pennywise the gnome,
Genau.
Ben and Jerry's the orc. It comes every 27 years, which ties into the whole 27 Club, because that would explain why every 27 years, 27 people of the age of 27 die 27 times.
Yeah.
So here we go. Let's just name a few people. Jim Morrison, dead. Why? No one knows.
Kurt Cocaine.
Dead. Why?
We think
Well-
suicide.
But according to 3 books that I've read, maybe not.
Courtney Love did it.
Jimi Hendrix.
Dead. Why? No one knows.
Janis Joplin.
Dead.
Why?
No,
No
one.
one.
And what do they
knows.
all have in their pockets?
Money.
A white lighter. Never touch a white lighter.
Is that true?
Especially if you're 27 and left-handed.
What the What
Yeah.
about
Paul McCartney?
dead?
Dead. 27.
Yeah,
Why?
he was wearing no shoes on television.
dead. Therefore, he's dead. Amy Winehouse. Nicolas Cage. Why don't we just shout out some names here? And
Okay, but
hope
the
that
point is, all these dudes died
Yeah.
mysteriously at the
Mhm.
same age, with the same philosophies on life.
Mm-hmm.
They were all like,
True.
"I don't like the system."
I guess so.
Wait, well, who didn't have the?
I don't know. Were they all fans of French nihilistic philosophers? Like James Morrison was?
I mean, they might not have known about them, but they probably would have been like, "That's a cool idea."
Alright, time
I
to
assume.
do some more sleuthing to figure out who else died at 27.
One of my favorite artists, unironically, I know this podcast is very ironic, but my favorite artist, Jean-Michel Basquiat, who was a artist in the 80s. He died at 27. He was a really cool artist, and he died at 27.
Why? We don't know.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these people just died, I think, because of drugs.
Oh, I totally forgot my favorite one who died. My favorite dead person, Brian Jones of the Rolling Stones.
Brian Jones of the Stones.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
He's 6 feet under.
Yeah.
Let's
Too
give
bad.
a big rest in peace to
6 feet under.
these 27 dudes.
Coincidence?
But you know what?
He was the sixth Rolling
I'm
Stone.
a big fan of Ronnie Wood. I think he's a wonderful guitarist.
The Faces, great.
Absolutely.
Jeff Beck, and his band, great. The Rolling Stones.
Amazing.
Ronnie Wood.
Ronnie Wood has some serious style and some serious groove.
Let's shit on the grave of Brian Jones by saying that Ronnie Wood is a better replacement guitar player.
Brian was good.
Not as good as a Mick Taylor. Oh, just kidding. We love you, Brian. Rest in peace. I mean, he did write Ruby Tuesday after all.
Goodbye, Ruby
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
But here's the
Who
deal.
could hang a name on you?
We need to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah.
Who did someone kill him?
I think it was definitely Pennywise.
You think it was and there was an It tie-in, a promotional It tie-in, many years before the movie came out.
All right, we got Robert Johnson.
Yeah. It's definitely it. Who was the first one to die?
What is it?
According to this,
Yes.
Alexandra Levy.
I have no idea who that is.
Date of death, January 17th, 1892.
Holy shit!
Composer, pianist, and conductor.
It's all... Oh my god.
Who's the last person out? Let's check the list.
My favorite composer, Alexander Levy.
James Lawrence.
When he died.
Record producer. He died this year!
Oh my...
Pennywise is back.
Lord.
Ben and Jerry's is back. Anton Yelchin.
Oh yeah, he was. I remember that guy.
Yeah,
he played that one. He played the guy in Star Trek, the little nerd. He's like, Captain. He's like Russian.
Captain.
He's like, Captain.
Yeah,
the engines are
pretty
fucked.
young.
Yeah, he's a little. They were all young. They were all 27.
Well, you know what?
Yep.
You know what I think?
What do you think?
What if, because they say that it comes back every 27 years. What if that means that he comes back every time, these specific musicians?
Well, that's not
turn
every
27
27 years. That would be every...
Well, what if
almost every year, it seems.
Yeah, I was going to say,
right,
how would you get all of them?
I mean, but when they turn 27, he comes back. And he's like, I'm going to kill you. Because he doesn't like their music.
Maybe.
Let's not forget about Dave Alexander, the bassist for the Stooges, who died at 27.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Ba-da-da-da.
My theory is that there's a secret government organization called the White Lighter, even though I just heard about that fact.
Alex Jones is behind it.
The White Lighter. They come. The fact is they don't want anyone to be entertained because that we need a society that is productive, and if we listen to music and we watch movies and we have record producers and we have composers, how the are we going to get our dairy on the table? Because they're not working on the dairy farm, they're making music in the basement. So you gotta kill them. And so what they do is, just as a sign, is they put that lighter in there and say it was all because they smoked these cigarettes that they died. That's the thing.
Hold on. I have one thing to add.
What do you have?
According to this, the first recorded 27 Club death was in 1892. Now, in the movie we just watched, wasn't there something about how the town was founded sometime in the 1800s?
That's true.
Uh-oh.
In the 1800s, that explains it.
That's a possible theory.
Now.
The same century.
Now, what year did it take place in?
Or not
88,
century.
89? Let's see who died in those years.
Century. Is it century?
What?
Yeah.
Century.
And if you take the word it has the same
What if you
same
put it
number
backwards?
of tie.
Yeah.
It has the same TI. If you replace that I with a W, and then add an E, and then add an N, and then add a T, and then a Y, and then a 7, it says 27. Part of the 27 club. I think that this is probably the cause. The white lighter. I don't know what the I was talking about.
Now, if we take the number of people who died of the 27 Club from 88 to 89, the years in which the movie takes place, there are 3 people. Alexander Bashklechev, John Michael Basquet, and Pete de Frieta.
Where are the hell French people?
Now, we know that so far there have only been 3 adaptations of it. The 2 from the 90s series and the one that we saw today,
What
chapter
about the
1.
Book.
That doesn't count. We're talking about movies.
Okay.
When was the book written? 85? 83?
Sometime then, I think.
Well, D. Boone died in 1985 at the age
I think it
of
was
26.
86. Did anyone die in 86?
No.
Okay.
Coincidence. He took a year off to write the book.
And then he got back on track to start killing more 27-year-olds.
Yeah.
This is
crazy.
This is something I never thought I would ever see in my entire years as a little boy.
You never know, man. You never know what's going to come
So
up.
here's what you guys need to know. If you're 27 and you're famous, you need to
Get out.
Don't go outside. There's
Well, the thing is-
monsters that'll you up,
Yeah.
frankly.
But the thing is, if you're probably going to die anyway. So if you stay at home, you're going to die.
Maybe.
If you
I don't know.
go outside, you're going to die.
You think?
You know what I mean? Like, what was the movie you were talking about yesterday?
Shrek 2.
Yeah, that one. The lamppost falls on the guy just randomly, and because you're gonna die.
Oh, that's Final Destination.
No, that's Shrek 2.
Oh.
We don't know anything about movies or music
That's not true, you're a liar. I know 4 things
or
about
pop
each
culture,
of those.
which
I know
is
4
why we're
things
good
about
at history.
music. 4 things I know about music. It's played on an instrument.
But what instrument? Exactly.
It's played
It can be on any instrument.
It's only played on sitars.
Do you
Ask
know
George
what an
Harrison.
Except drums. Drums are not an instrument.
Those are not an instrument.
You're not a musician.
If you're a drummer,
if you play the drums.
Yeah, you can just get out of there.
Yeah.
You're kind of there for like your little decoration in
yeah,
the back.
Yeah, because you need something to fill up the back. That's why I'm there.
Back on track.
yeah. Let's solve this mystery once and for all.
Once and for all.
Let's do
Ben and
this.
Jerry the gnome, responsible for all the 27 deaths that have occurred in history.
He's a murderer.
We found out if you're a musician, kill yourself before the age of 27. You'll
He'll make it.
survive
He'll
to
make it.
27.
He'll make it look like a suicide.
Yeah.
It's not the white. You know what? That's what actually. Okay.
It's like Pizzagate.
I was confused. See, when I was talking about the white lighter, it was all just a ruse. I think here's a second theory on top of the main theory.
Yeah.
The lighter was put there by Benjamin,
Pizzagate.
by him,
Uh-oh.
to distract us from him, from it. So we think that it's a corporation, but it's actually a monster.
A pedophile.
Mystery solved.
Yeah, another one for the books.
Case closed.
Case closed.
Yeah.
High fives all around.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Well, that brings us...
that brings
We're
this
out.
Bystery
Last.
hour to a close. I hope you all feel educated and aware of what's going on in your town, whether you be in a rural country
Rural city in Maine.
or in a densely populated area like Chicago. Moving on,
Eat your green vegetables.
we're gonna go to hit or miss movies.
The new
A
segment.
new segment introduced for today only.
Brand new.
We talked
Probably
about
not
the
today.
movies we've talked
Yeah,
about.
we'll probably talk about more
We'll
movies.
probably talk
because
about more movies.
all we do is sit around, watch movies,
Yeah.
listen to music, play music,
Play music.
Fun fact, I've seen every movie.
watch some YouTube videos that include much ear rape.
I've seen all 9 movies ever made.
Yeah, I'm
The
still
Bible's
on
part
5.
1 through 9.
Yeah.
The the Bible's the only movie.
I'll start off.
Okay.
Because I haven't started any segments.
We're gonna start off with the movie we've been talking about all night.
So we've been basically gabbing like gals about this new movie we saw today. It's Stephen King's It, a new 2017 masterpiece film, a magnum. What was once considered his magnum opus.
You like that phrase?
Yeah.
But it's alright because you can use it.
His magnum opus is kind of my word of the day.
Free speech.
Wonderful.
His favorite thing.
Yeah.
He made it in 1986 as a little book, and now they adapted it into a feature film. And it was good. I'm going to give it my opinion, and I'll let you guys kind of, shoot yours out in a second. But overall, I mean, I thought the movie was well done. Going into any reboot, I'm usually like, this is going to be ass. Like the new Blade Runner reboot, I would rather watch the old Blade Runner 49 times and ruin it for myself than go see this new Blade Runner.
Well said.
Yeah,
I guess.
Well, I mean, you could say that, but you've only seen the trailers.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Listen, okay, just let me be crabby, okay?
Okay.
All right, let's let him rant.
But going into this movie, I knew that there was a couple good reviews for it, and so I was a little bit more hopeful. And, it took me, not quite by surprise, but I was pleasantly pleasanted. I enjoyed the film. It was spooky. It was violent.
Very.
It was frightening.
It had all the basic elements.
It had all the good things you need in a scary film. I mean, the characters, like in any horror movie, are pretty dense. Yep. I mean, they're not quite as dumb as you think. Like, the kids in the group are very... It reminded me a bit of, like, The Goonies, or, like, kind of like your classic 80s kid protagonist group.
So any movie, really...
Yeah.
With kids, Stand By Me, Stranger Things.
But they're like the good kind of kids, like nowadays you get like, I can't think of a terrible kids group in a new movie, but you get like back in the day you had those classic groups and mostly a lot of them from Stephen King adaptations.
Not
West
quite
Side
as good
Story.
as Shark Boy and Lava Girl though.
Okay, well, nobody can really reach that level.
Yeah, that's true.
The Outsiders, they had kids in there.
They had kids in there. They had kids in Stand By Me. They had kids in The Goonies, like we previously said.
The Rascals.
To me, this, like, the new Stranger Things Netflix television series, which also featured another one of their actors. I don't remember the name of the kid. It's like...
There you go, Netflix. There's a plug.
Yeah.
Pay us money.
Give us money. But it reminded me of, like, that kind of... It's kind of a resurgence of that camaraderie. You get to see some good relationships amongst these kids, and the way they deal with the problem in the movie is pretty terrific. Now,
some pretty good relationships, especially if you've read the book. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Wink.
I'm gonna go into spoiler territory.
Spoiler alert! Turn
really
off your computer right now.
You can't really talk about this without delving into spoilers.
Yeah. All right, let's get into it.
But I read the book, okay, and there was a kid orgy. It wasn't in the movie. What the is the deal? What is going on?
Now, here at the Bystery Boys, we don't condone...
listen, here's the
kid orgies,
thing.
but if you're going to have it in the book...
I don't want to see kids having sex.
It's a pretty awkward movie.
There was a couple awkward parts. There was a lot of parts with weird, rapey guys staring at the one female protagonist. That was really, really, not disturbing, but it made me kind of...
Hey, it's the 80s.
Yeah, it's the 80s. You're allowed to be disgusting.
Pretty much. That's what a culture was in the
80s. But I mean, I thought they were pretty faithful, frankly and honestly. I thought they were pretty faithful to the novel, and I think being the only one out of our little group today that had read the novel,
or any book for that matter,
I was pleasantly surprised, especially with the level of violence that they had. Like when I said earlier, I know I was joshing a little bit about that kid orgy, but they really didn't pull the punches with violence towards children in this movie.
Yeah, that's
Which-
true.
which
Violence.
I mean, I
Violence.
applaud them a little bit. Not saying I want to see kids get gruesomely killed,
Hey, I do.
but but I thought
Say
it was
that
pretty cool
again.
that they were faithful enough to the book to retain that darker approach, because
Yeah.
it was pretty gruesome, and it
It
made
wasn't
for
just kids getting scared, and then, you know, their parents being like, "Oh,
it
I'll
made
help you.
for it made for good good atmosphere in a way, because it made you feel like the stakes were a little bit higher, and knowing that like these kids aren't invincible, especially when the kids
Yeah, more
themselves get
realistic.
seriously injured multiple times in the movie.
yeah."
Like the one bully character carves an H
Oh,
into the
eek.
stomach of
Yuck.
one other boy, which happened in the book again. I think that's like, if a lot of people, I imagine, like once more reviews come up for this movie, that there will be a lot of applause for that. Just it's generally pretty strict faithfulness to the book, and I'm curious to see, and I'm excited to see the sequel with the adults, because personally in the novel that was one of my favorite parts, and revisiting our classic characters.
All right. What would you rate this?
I'd give it 5 scary clowns out of 6. Nah,
Yeah.
4.5 scary clowns out of 6 clowns with a K, because I like the characters, but they fell into some classic horror movie tropes.
Uh-oh.
For example, they do really dumb shit. Like one of the main characters, is it Bill? Billy?
Bill.
Bill?
Oh, yeah.
Bill's the main
Bill Denborough. His brother dies early on in the movie, and the clown who can shapeshift frequently takes the form of his brother to scare him. But every time the kid would show up on screen, he'd be like following it around and shit. That's just not smart, especially if you know that the clown used it before to try and eat your ass. Just don't do that.
He's a pretty grapey clown.
He was pretty spooky.
Yeah.
He did a good job, this new guy, because I mean, you don't beat Tim Curry, but you did a good job. He stuck to his guns. He did a very swell job. What's his
good
name?
Wait, that wasn't like Bill Skarsgård.
Bill Skarsgård.
Bill
Skarsgård.
Skarsgård.
Yeah, he's
Another
a
Bill.
Swedish
Bill
man.
Sasquatch.
Bill Sasquatch.
Yes.
Anyhow, I'm going to leave it at that and let my friends give a couple little comments.
Right.
4.5 clown noises, scary clown noises,
Out of
Out of
6
6.
K clowns.
K clowns. What do you
Devin.
think, Dev?
Tell us 2 bad things about this movie and 2.5 good things about this movie.
Okay, sounds good. So 2 bad things. One bad thing was that it wasn't very scary. At least I think I didn't think it was very scary. The only time I got scared was at really just one point.
Yeah, it relied a lot on jump scares too, I found.
Yeah, and there was only one jump scare that actually scared me.
That really, yeah.
Yeah,
Struggled your
that
brain.
was one point in the bathroom where the clown grabs the girl's neck, and it's very unexpected, and that's the only point
Gave you
where
a frighten.
I jumped in my chair.
Well,
And so that was okay. Other than that, so it wasn't too scary. I was hoping for more scariness. Another bad thing. Let me think. Well, I'll say one thing that Caleb said. Caleb said that the kids were kind of a little bit stupid sometimes, but I'll give you a half of a good thing. They were pretty smart most of the time. They were actually pretty smart
for 12-year-old kids.
The
Yeah.
little 12-year-old
I wasn't that
kids.
smart at 12.
Pretty smart kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I concur. I think, again, going back to the jump scares, I don't think it took away from the movie, but I don't think it added anything either. I think
Yeah.
that it, if anything, it just made it a little more of a 2017 horror movie, and I think that if it had moved past that trope, I would have been appreciative. What about you, Luke? What do you think of this film?
Here's the thing. It's a great movie, especially for someone who's never read a Stephen King book.
Like
But
yourself?
that's on me. Like I want to read Stephen King. I
You
just
can
never got around
read
to
my
it.
collection.
Yeah, I'll read the Caleb collection of novels. It was very good. The one thing that threw me off, as I pointed out before, well, not in this podcast, but with my friend group, because I had not read the book, I didn't know the clown actually, like, talked. Spoiler alert. Talks. That threw me off. I'm like, wait, this guy's just, like, kind of like a human being, because he talks. He's not like an entity like The Grudge, which is one of the greatest horror movies of all time. It just doesn't talk. It just goes and just eats people. So that's aside from that, and aside from the kids doing stupid things, it was an excellent movie for sure. Definitely in terms of horror movies, because horror movies, let's face it, there's no good horror movies. Not a single one.
That's
except
true.
for
They're very, very.
They're bottom of the barrel.
There's The Grudge. There's one adaptation of Amityville Horror, but I forget which one. And then there's It.
Don't forget.
The Shining. The Shinning.
Shining. I mean, there's a couple.
The Shindig.
You get a couple classics, but like anything modern that comes out usually is.
Yeah, anything with jump
PU.
scares. Anything that has to do with dolls. Wink, wink. Annabelle.
Yeah, more
And that
like
whole
more like
fucking
more
series.
like Fanabelle, because I'm not a fan.
Anything that has to do with zombies. Okay, let's be real right here. Unpopular opinion time. Ding, ring the alarms. Zombies are terrible. They're not scary. They're probably the worst monster in history ever. They're slow. You can beat them to a pulp with your penis if you wanted to. Because they're all mushy.
They're not very scary.
Yeah, they're not scary at all. The Walking Dead, not scary.
Yeah, but you know what? I can't remember who said that to me. I'm guessing it was you because you read a lot of books, Caleb. That World War Z, that the book was better than the movie. Did you tell me that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I enjoyed that movie because it was very high budget. I think they did it well. Those zombies were hella fast.
Yeah.
Also, World War Z 2, which is coming out I think next year.
World War Z 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, that one. It's going to be
a lightning fast action thriller.
Packed.
Yeah, and you know what? Actually, you're right because like they're more of like World War Z was more of an action movie than a horror movie. It wasn't really a horror movie. It's more of action, killing zombies, Black Ops. And anyway, but the second one is going to be directed by David Fincher, which is Caleb's favorite.
My favorite director. I wasn't even aware of that.
The thing is, I watched a couple of his movies recently, and I really enjoyed them, especially at the end because he has some very good plot twists. So I'm hoping to see something like that in the upcoming World War Z movie.
All right,
but we're not talking about World War Z. We're talking about It.
We can all agree, It, good movie.
Yeah,
It was a good movie. Good family friendly picture. Bring your kids. Bring your husband. Bring your wife.
See some blood and gore. Bring your dog. Bring your cat.
Go on a date.
Bring your clown.
Yeah.
All right, we got to move on because we still have 2 more movies to talk about.
Yeah. So anyway, it's great. It is well. Moving on to our next film.
All right.
School of Rock. We watched it last night.
Yeah.
Little Dev P here is going to give it a big old review.
So, I'm going to give my honest opinion here. School of Rock is frankly the greatest movie ever made. Jack Black does an incredible job with his acting skills.
I like the part where he does like his Jack Black voice. He's like, yeah, rock and roll.
Yeah.
He does like all that stuff.
Yeah.
Very Jack Black. Very classic Black Jack, man.
Pretty much, if you've ever seen a meme about Jack Black, or you can like stereotype him, it's because of School of Rock.
Yeah, all of his memes and
all of his mannerisms
came out of that movie.
Yeah, and so he teaches
excreted out of that movie.
Yeah, and this movie, there's nothing bad about it. There's all good things. I had a few negative things to say about it. It the movie, Stephen King's It, but this movie, School of Rock, has no negatives.
Zero.
It's all just positives.
Do you hear that, audience? Zero.
and he teaches these kids how to play music. That's probably the best thing you can teach a child.
A little baby.
Yeah.
He teaches babies music.
Yeah, they kind of suck a little bit. But you know what? You know what? That doesn't... because you know what?
They try. That's the thing.
They're better than I am. You know what I mean? Like Freddie... Okay, so there's this man named Freddie Jones. And he plays the drums. And he likes the Sex Pistols. I like the Sex Pistols. You know what? He's a better drummer than I am. And he rocks out. And he's a cool guy. Freddie's the coolest. Katie on the bass is the baddest.
She's a bad bee. She's the OG bad bee.
Yeah. She is a bad
bee.
Yeah. She plays the bass just like Caleb over here.
She's a quiet. She's got her head down. So when they're doing all that cringy, goofy shit, she's there doing.
She's very mature.
She's holding the low down. Yeah. Just like a good bass player.
Yeah. She's very mature. Character.
She's not an idiot.
Yeah, I really appreciate her acting. I think her acting was it was probably
an easy job. She didn't say much. She was a little emo, but frankly, I think it added to the performance.
Absolutely. Let's not forget about Miranda Cosgrove's stellar performance.
iCarly was in this movie.
iCarly is this movie.
She's in this movie. Without iCarly, we would not have the band School of Rock because she is the group manager.
Also, without iCarly, this podcast wouldn't exist because
the internet wouldn't have been invented yet.
The internet wouldn't be real.
iCarly. Yeah.
So let's all give a big thank you to iCarly. Thanks, Carly.
Thanks. Thank you. Freddie Jones later changed his name to Fredward Benson.
Yeah.
And that's how the movie was born. So, frankly. Well, do you have anything more to say, Devin, before we move on to other people's comments?
I'm just gonna say, amazing movie. A lot of different great parts to it. I think Dewey, also known as Ned in the movie, Jack Black's character, had a very good idea of illegally taking someone's job, and
very
staging.
Illegal. Don't do that, kids.
Or I don't know what to say for this. How to say it. I guess pretending that he's a different person. And
it's a very philosophical movie.
Yeah, and you know what? I think that's a very good idea. You can make a lot of money. You can teach some kids some important lessons because they're not really learning anything that great at school. They gotta learn about rock and roll, dude.
Yeah, reading and writing.
Yeah. Rock and roll is the future. Okay? Always will be, always has been, all that crap. So, if you don't know what rock and roll is, you gotta know.
Yeah, cock and roll. Do you want to put your comments first, Luke?
I would love to put my comments. So here we go. School of Rock, a great film. However, if you're a fan of dad rock, you're gonna love this movie because it's got some god-awful music in it. AC/DC. It features 2 songs from AC/DC, quite possibly the worst band in the history of music. There's also the feature song Math, 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 Math by Jack Black, in which he sings about math to the kids.
That's not a very good song.
Another dad rock classic. What other songs are in here? The song at the very end when they're performing. Terrible song. Because it's basically just them trying to be AC/DC, which is like trying to be the worst band in the world.
I agree.
And this was pre-Axl Rose AC/DC.
Yeah, so AC/DC is good now.
Pre-Axl DC. This is pre-Axl DC. So if they were trying to, sort of rip off Axl DC, and they did, a decent job, so it'd be amazing.
So even though it was a movie about music, aside from the music, it was a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I concur. Yeah, well.
Although it did have one good song, "Edge of 17" by Fleetwood.
Best song
by Fleetwood.
That'll be on the podcast next week
by Mick Nix.
My opinion,
Stevie Fleet.
So, this movie's pretty good. It's a good family film. If you're trying to introduce your kids to some rock culture,
don't do it.
Don't do it.
Maybe
show them this movie. For me, my biggest pet peeve was all the cringe that comes around with rock culture. It falls into a lot of the tropes of what people think about rock music, where they're all like, "Yeah, rock," and
Yeah,
then like they're all like,
basically
"I
a bunch
love
of
rock
rebels.
and only rock, and don't be a poser." And
Don't listen to any other thing. But
the only
rock.
thing, the main thing I think about rock, and just music in general, is that it, like you can't just as soon as you get pigeonholed as one thing, you kind of ruin it. And I know I'm being a bit of a bozo, kind of bringing this into a comedy kids movie, but I think that if you're going to introduce kids to rock, you should introduce them for what it really is. You know, be honest. Don't just try to play into what is culturally accepted. That's not rock.
It's
Roy Orbison is rock.
I think like the main
Punk rock.
and the biggest cringy moments in the movie where they'd be like, "Oh yeah, devil horn sign with my fingers,"
Yeah,
and he'd be
everyone
like,
who plays rock.
and he'd
worships
be
the
like,
devil.
I don't know what else did they say that was really cringy. They'd be like, "Rock on,
a
dude,"
lot of stuff.
and
Yeah,
then
like stick it to the man.
Yeah, and the one
Like,
kid like
what?
he spiked his hair up. He's like, "I'm punk." I'm like, "Eat my ass, you're punk. You look like a little douche."
Here's
That kid was
another.
me in grade 9.
another
Secretly, I am Freddie Jones.
Yeah, this podcast is actually the Freddie Jones podcast.
Yeah.
Another thing I would want to add really quick before we wrap this part up is, okay, if I say rock and the first thing that comes to your mind is AC/DC, you don't know what rock is. Get out of here. Give up. Anyway, that's all I had to say.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be honest here, like, all of last night when we were watching this movie. So the thing was, so we were about ready to go to bed. Caleb went to bed. He's like, I'm tired, and when me and Caleb, me and Luke stay over at Caleb's house, we like to sleep on the living room there.
Sleep
Right over there. If
They
you can
sleep
see.
right over there.
Yeah, over there.
I
Look to your
let
left
them
and
sleep on 2 leather mats
Yeah,
that I wash and bleach every night.
yeah,
Just look to your left and you'll see where we sleep. Wherever you're listening.
yeah. And so Caleb was going to bed, right? And
Gonna catch some Z's.
yeah, and so then me and Luke, I think Luke went to the bathroom. I can't quite remember.
Yeah, just tell us everything that happened last night.
He had to have a little poo poo, so
That's
Yeah.
not true.
And then
We're editing that.
and so
It's not radio friendly, guys. Come on.
and so I was about ready to go to bed, and then Luke like turned on the TV or something.
Yeah,
he's
or
like,
something.
Let's watch something. I was like, okay, let's watch something. And so he's like, want to watch School of Rock? And I thought he was joking, but he actually put it on.
What can I say? I know my movies.
Yeah, man, you gotta pick the best movie in the world. Anyways, and so for probably half an hour, I thought Caleb was asleep.
So
I guess
we thought-
not, because he put Shark Boy and Lava Girl on the TV.
Using his magic powers.
quite frankly, one of the greatest films of all time.
Yeah,
We were in the middle of watching School of Rock, and then all of a sudden the TV cuts out and goes
Yeah.
right to Dream by
Yeah.
Shark Boy. And we're like, what the flip is going on?
yeah,
Who's
it was
behind
crazy.
this?
I was like, hey man, turn back on our School of Rock. We wanna watch this, and he's like, no.
I just didn't agree because frankly, I was a little peeved. I couldn't count some
couldn't sleep
sheep. I
because
couldn't
of the-
count any sheep
because
because
of the
I was too
rock.
busy hearing Jack Black be like, "Yeah!"
Yeah,
about
he
fucking
walks out
rock
in his
music.
boxers, and he's like, what are you boys doing?
Yeah, I couldn't sleep, and so I walked out there. I'm like, "What are you
And
honkies
then we
doing out
watched.
here?"
Yeah.
We watched School of Rock.
And so then I tagged along, watched some School of Rock.
Yeah, and
All
then
right.
so for the rest of the movie, I was just turning to these dudes here, and I just said, man, that was cringe. That was real cringe. And like I could not, like, if you, never mind.
I
All
don't
right,
know.
Devin, what
That's
would
cringe.
you rate your movie, your pick of the day? Would you
My
rate?
pick of the day, I'd say a scale of 4 to 11, I'd give it but
Give it a 9/11.
yeah, that one. 9 point
Well, I
Nine
mean, it
point-
is almost 9/11.
9.75. 9.75.
9.75 out of 11. There you have it.
9.75.
School of Rock. debunked.
Indeed, tomorrow is the this is being recorded on the 10th of September. So tomorrow will be the
The
12th?
The 12th.
12th anniversary. No. What?
No, tomorrow will be
I'm
just the
s-
12th.
I'm
It'll
so
be September
dumb.
12th.
No, tomorrow will be the 11th.
Nope, it'll be the 12th.
Okay.
Is it the 11th today?
If you're listening to this in the year 1950, in the year 2012, they actually banned the day, September 11th, in memoriam of the real September
real
11th,
thing.
which you wouldn't know about because you're listening to this in 1950.
Yeah.
So it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on.
Yeah.
The
Alright.
Cobbler.
All right.
The Cobbler. Okay.
A Luke Garrison pick.
Listen up, kids. If you want to watch the second greatest movie of all time, look no further than The Cobbler starring Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler.
And yes, that's
your
right.
guy.
I said Adam Sandler because this is
That's your man.
it's an Adam Sandler movie, and you all know what that means. It's
gonna
good.
be bad. Oh.
It's good. Caleb doesn't know what he's talking about.
Shut up.
All right,
Okay.
so this movie follows the life of a fourth generation Lower East Side Jewish boy, Sandy Sandwich, and as he cobbles his way through life
Sandy Adam.
by fixing shoes, boots, and other foot accessories. And so basically, we totally forgot to say spoilers for School of Rock, but whatever. I'll just say the spoilers now for
Spoiler.
The Cobbler.
I mean,
Spoiler,
most
turn
people,
off your
most people have seen that film.
I hope so. I hope they've seen The Cobbler.
Or not The Cobbler. I didn't even know what The Cobbler was until...
Until you watch the greatest movie.
Yeah, and then
So-
I realized this is the best movie ever.
Now that we got the spoiler alert out of the way, the premise of the movie is Andy Samberg finds a shoe machine in his basement, in his little Jewish cellar, in his shoe
He
shop.
keeps his pickles.
That's false. Steve Buscemi, who's also in this movie, is the one who has the pickles. He finds a little magic spinster mobile, but he doesn't know that it's magic yet until he
Learns its magic.
fixes a shoe using the little dipster, the little spinster. Puts on the shoe because for some reason he's like, I'm gonna wear these shoes, and he finds out that whoever shoes he puts on that have been fixed with the magic cobble machine, he becomes that person.
That's wacky.
Wouldn't that just be spectacular?
It was
That's
pretty
whack.
pretty neato.
Crack
So,
is whack.
As
dude.
per usual, Adam Sandler finds out he has a magic power and shenanigans ensue until he learns a life lesson. Yada yada yada. His mom dies. His dad comes back. He kills some people. Some other people try to kill him.
It's just a mess.
And
It's insane.
then he realizes he needs to hone in on his powers. So he asks his dad, teach me about the fine arts of cobbling.
Wait, did we talk about how his dad actually was alive the whole time?
His dad is actually Steve Buscemi.
Yep.
So, but you would already know that because if you're listening to this, it's because you got past the spoiler alert checkpoint. So you already know that Steve Buscemi is his father. And what kind of formula could fail like a movie about a magic shoe that includes Adam Sandler and Steve Buscemi? Those two go together like
Peas in a pod.
like peanut butter and pickle sandwich. Which
I love peanut butter and pickles.
Okay, Luke, what are your 2 cents? What are the main things you can say about this film?
Yeah.
Scent number 1. I like how, like every Adam Sandler movie, or every movie in the early 2010s, they try to focus on loving your environment, pretty much. Because one of the big parts of the movie was also about Adam Sandler trying to help this chick keep Lower East Side alive from being eaten from the corporate overlords that enjoy eating duck ragu. Which is always a nice touch because it's always a good theme to have, that you should love thy neighbor.
You should
Love thy neighborhood.
thy ragu.
Love duck ragu. That's 1 cent. The other cent is
I love ducks.
it was just a perfect movie from start to finish. Adam Sandler nailed his performance. I mean, what more could you want of just a man who can be anybody? He can transform into anybody and just do whatever he wants.
It was pretty, yeah. Okay, well
Any thoughts, guys?
I'll give you some of my 2 cents.
Okay.
I thought it was definitely not your typical Adam Sandler movie. Adam Sandler
How
was
dare you?
he was not sliding down a slide and hanging out with his shitty pals.
I agree
How
with you.
dare you?
He wasn't being like super duper
Obnoxious.
yeah, obnoxious and
There was considerably less poop jokes.
immature, yeah.
There was no poop jokes. There was no fart jokes. I don't even think there was a pee joke. And I think that was pretty impressive.
There weren't a lot of jokes. It was more of a serious.
It wasn't even a
it was
fun
serious
movie at
type
all.
of movie.
There were no jokes.
It was not even funny. It was a 0%.
It was a drama.
Yeah.
There was I enjoyed that.
It was rather
It was a
bland. As
sci-fi
far as,
drama.
I enjoyed that it was
humor
super
goes.
Jewish.
Yeah, they really
I love Jews.
They really pushed the Jewish
Adam
thing.
Sandler was a real Jew in this movie, and
Yeah.
for the better. I enjoyed the talk of Jew culture.
Every single stereotype you can think of Jews.
I love Shabbat.
Just imagine that being in a movie.
Yeah, he's eating kosher pickles. What else do you want?
Exactly.
But I thought it was interesting because it was just a different role, different feel for Adam, for my boy.
I agree.
For the little Jewster.
It was his first movie in which he wasn't trying to constantly act like Billy Madison like he does in every movie.
And I hypothesized that that's why this movie is so much less known than his other films, because
I agree.
Because he was not trying to be that formula that always works for him. He wasn't being the depressed Adam Sandler in Pixels, the Adam Sandler in every movie that sucks, in Grown Ups 2, Grown Ups 3, probably Grown Ups 4.
7.5.
So I think that's why this film is just less known. And overall, I understood why Luke regards this film with such high value.
It's the greatest.
He loves this
Steve
film.
Buscemi
And
performance.
yeah, again, Steve Buscemi, can't go wrong with my man Steve. He always gives you a good performance. And so, on my final note, some criticisms I'd say is that there was just a really mean black guy in it, and he was scary.
Which was also kind of a stereotype. There were actually a lot of stereotypes in this movie.
It was quite racist.
Coming from Adam Sandler,
racists.
he's always a bit of a racist, even with his own culture, Jewish culture. I'm pretty sure not all Jews are eating pickles all the time. You know.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying. But I mean, for what it was cool. I'd give it 4 receding hairlines out of 20.
Okay.
It's a bad
That's
rating.
not bad.
4 receding hairlines out of 6.
I'd give it 7 Adam Sandlers out of 10 Jack and Jill.
Okay, Devin, your turn. What do you got to say about this?
Well,
film?
I agree with you, Caleb, on that. It's very different from most of Adam Sandler's movies.
Yeah.
It's very different. It's there's not a lot of humor in it, which I kind of appreciate because I don't really like Adam Sandler's humor. I
don't like humor.
Yeah, jokes are stupid. I hate laughing and having a good time.
I don't enjoy being happy.
Yeah, neither do I. But one thing that it's kind of a negative thing to say about it, but you know what? It's very true. At least for me, it was incredibly predictable.
You knew right off the bat that you're like that's Adam Sandler's dad, and
yeah.
I was like, what are you talking about? But you knew.
Like there was a few things. There was a lot of, I don't know if it was foreshadowing or it was just super predictable in a bad way. I think foreshadowing is kind of a positive thing because the writer or the whoever is able to make something happen earlier in the movie that relates to something later in the movie.
I concur.
But it's not really that apparent. But this one was too apparent.
It's just a little see-through.
There were 2 parents in this movie.
There's too many parental figures.
I don't like parents.
Them.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom and Dad.
All right, let's wrap.
Anything else to say, you guys?
Wrap
you guys
it up.
feel good with what you got?
Yes.
And that concludes
Wait,
Hater...
we still haven't done our
Stay safe, kids.
inspirational speech outro.
Oh, yeah. But that concludes Hit or Miss movies.
Yeah.
We're going to play our inspirational speech outro.
Yeah,
Who's talking today?
So today we're going to have Hitler's speech
We're
to
not,
his...
no.
It's not Hitler.
Okay.
Devin is just... He loves the Third Reich.
Mein Kampf was my favorite book. I was telling these boys yesterday, I said it's a very good read.
It's probably lengthy.
Yeah, very thick book. Thick. Like thick anime thighs.
Yeah.
And those are the best kind of them.
Maybe that meme will also be dead by the time this podcast gets released.
Well...
Yeah, true.
I can't remember the dude's name.
What's his name?
I can't remember.
Where's he from? Henry Rollins.
No, although that would be a good one.
Can we just listen to Henry Rollins yelling at people?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just listen to him.
Another note, Henry Rollins
Get
is
up
my favorite person of all
And
time.
go to school. If you don't go to school, you ain't gonna learn nothing.
Yeah. So...
All right.
Overall, summary of today's events. Listen to Night Fever. Listen to
Two of us.
And don't listen to Saint Anger by Metallica. 27 Club, it's because of
It's
Pennywise from It.
Yeah.
It from Penny, the new It movie, created in 2017. It's pretty good. Go watch it.
Watch it.
Watch
School
School of
of
Rock.
Rock.
Go see School of Rock.
It's amazing.
And The Cobbler, go see it on Luke's request.
Yeah.
If,
you know
if
what?
it's me and Devin saying,
it's subjective.
yeah,
like,
go give
you
it
know,
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But
Do what you want.
that's what we got to say for today. Tune in next time when we talk about other things related to our lives. We don't know.
Mysteries, movies, and music.
All right.
Basically,
Now we're going to play out with the smooth sounds of Henry Rollins' voice.
Henry Rollins is going to give us a speech.
Unless there's an ad first, in which case we're gonna edit it out. But we can't edit it. So
Yeah, we can't edit. So we're going to listen to a sweet. Listen to Henry Rollins.
And perhaps
Okay.
maybe
All right.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
5 hours,
Sleep tight.
I've said something to you that may be inspired you somewhere, and if I did, I'm fucking damn glad of it. It is very hard to find inspiration because you don't know who's playing you the right cards or who has the aces up their sleeve, who is trying to fuck you up, you know, because all these guys come on with these sincerity rap. Oh, don't worry, we're sincere. Everyone's sincere, you know. I said this last night. Attila the Hun was sincere. Idi Amin was sincere. Every cop is sincere. The Klan is sincere. I mean, they sincerely want to kill you, right? So everyone is sincere. So who gives a fuck about sincerity? Think about my friend. Think about my friend who was murdered. You know, just so you know, I got a friend. He's dead. He got his face blown off right next to me about 1 year and 2 months ago. His potential is over with. He's in a plastic box in Burbank, California, 2 feet under the ground doing nothing. Okay?